In today's video, I wanted to talk about oil cleansers and I wanted to go over my favorite ones. I've been testing several oil cleansers and cleansing oils over the past months, and I picked only 5. These are the 5 that I found to be effective, that really kept my skin clear and that do a really good job at removing makeup and sunscreen. But before I talk about the actual products that I wanted to go over today, I wanted to talk about why I use oil cleansers versus other types of cleansers like gel cleansers, why I don't use makeup wipes, and why it is so important that you use a well-formulated oil cleanser versus any other oil that you can find either in your kitchen or any other beauty oil. So there are a few reasons why it is so important to choose a well-formulated oil cleanser that is really effective. And the first one is the oil cleansers that are formulated specifically with the purpose of removing makeup and sunscreen contain a blend of ingredients that have several benefits. The products that I'm going to talk about contain anti-inflammatory ingredients, so that as you massage your skin, you are actually soothing it instead of irritating it, as you may do when you cleanse your skin and you massage your skin. In fact, you should always try to be as gentle as possible and not rub vigorously. Another reason is that they contain sometimes mildly exfoliating ingredients or other ingredients that help to balance the skin, because cleansing the skin can really put a stress on your skin barrier, can really alter the skin barrier, and so the gentlest the product, the better. So oil cleansers that are formulated specifically with that purpose of removing makeup and sunscreen are effective, are gentle, and offer several benefits. But the most important reason why you should use an oil cleanser versus any other beauty oil or any other oil that you may have in your kitchen, which could be effective at removing makeup, is that oil cleansers contain additional ingredients that help the product to change the texture in contact with water, so that it becomes easy to rinse off, easy to remove, and that it doesn't leave that film, that oily film on the skin that can really lead to irritation or breakouts, can clog your pores, and ultimately is going to damage your skin in the long term. So it is very important that you use a product that is formulated specifically for the purpose of removing makeup and sunscreen. Additionally, I would say that there are some sunscreens that are really hard to come off, and that's especially true with the sunscreens that I use, which are mineral sunscreens, the so-called physical sunscreens or sunblock that contain zinc oxide or titanium dioxide or a mix of both. Those sunscreens tend to really stick to the skin and they can clog the pores and cause breakouts, irritation. So it's very important to use a sunscreen, to use an oil cleanser that is specifically formulated to break down the sunscreen and rinse off easily, so that the skin is left clear and healthy. And you may choose to use an additional cleanser if you need it or not, because if the oil cleanser comes off really well, you may not really need an additional cleanse. I also wanted to touch briefly on double cleansing. So for many people, double cleansing can be really helpful and really beneficial, and that's the case especially for people who tend to break out, so people who have more oily skin or that are prone to breaking out. Now, for a good second cleanse following makeup removal, you may want to choose something that is mild, gentle, but very effective. I prefer emulsifying cleansers, not foaming cleansers, which tend to be a little bit irritating and may leave the skin stripped. But a gentle emulsifying cleanser, like the gel cleansers that I used in my previous skincare routine videos, I will put a link on the screen if you want to watch them. They're a little bit old, but I use the same cleanser still, so I can still recommend it. It's a really good gentle cleanser that emulsifies and helps to remove that extra layer of residue from the skin. It also has a little bit of an exfoliating action and leaves the skin feeling balanced and very well cleansed. It is so important that you consider doing double cleansing, because what can happen if you don't double cleanse is that if even the tiniest amount of product is left on the skin, if you apply any treatment afterwards, if you apply any toner or serum, any sort of treatment, they won't have the chance to penetrate into the skin and do the job. if there is something in between them, a layer of product in between them. So I highly encourage you to try double cleansing. Just make sure you use products that are gentle and that suit your skin type. Before I forget, I also wanted to mention that all the oil cleansers that I'm going to show you are packaged in glass and have a pump. So this is a really great thing for a product, especially if it contains expensive ingredients, because it's going to preserve the product better. Just keep in mind that it's best to keep them in a dark and cool and dry environment. So don't leave them in a really hot and humid, steamy bathroom. Keep them either in your fridge or in a drawer, in a really dark corner of a drawer, because it will help to preserve the properties of the ingredients much better. When I first tried this oil cleanser, I felt slightly underwhelmed. I honestly felt like it was good at breaking down the makeup and the sunscreen, but I just felt like it wasn't the best I had tried. And one thing that I did not appreciate was that I couldn't just rinse it off the skin. I couldn't just splash my face with water and it would come off. I would have to wipe it off with a damp towel. With a damp towel, it does come off really, really well. However, I became to really appreciate it and really use it daily when I started to use a mineral sunscreen that is in a stick form. It's by Coola, and it's a sunscreen that works really, really well for when I go to the beach or I'm outside. I live in Florida, so I tend to sweat. If I go for a jog or anything like that, I find that most sunscreens will not stick to my skin as well as that particular sunscreen stick. So I tried all of my oil cleansers, and the only oil cleansers that took off that sunscreen easily was this one. When you first apply it on the skin, you feel like it basically piles up. It creates these little clumps of product on the skin. You can feel and you can see all of the products being lifted off the skin very well. Now, it may not be as pleasant as a oil cleanser that does not clump up, but there is something so important about all the product coming off easily, so that I don't have to do several cleanses, and so that all the sunscreen is going to be removed very, very well. So for that reason, this is one of my favorite oil cleansers, and this was actually my first bottle. There's just a tiny amount left here, and I've ordered a second one because I was very pleased with how well it removed sunscreen. So if you have very delicate skin and if you have a hard time finding cleansers that remove your sunscreen very well, this is something that I would recommend looking into. My second oil cleanser pick is the Schnapp Rinse Away Oil Cleanser. I've been using this for a few months. So this is a brand that is sold at a detox market. It's called Schnapp, like I said, and it's made in Switzerland. So what I like about this particular oil cleanser, and the reason why I picked it, is that this particular oil, once applied to the skin, it does a really good job removing makeup, melting the makeup and the sunscreen. However, when you apply water to your skin, the texture changes into a more milky consistency. So I found that this is really comforting and soothing when your skin is more dry, is more tired. There's something about it that you just can continue to massage for hours if you could, and it feels really soothing, really calming. I also appreciate the scent. It contains a tiny amount of essential oils, and it's a very pleasant scent. So I do enjoy this product. However, I found that this is definitely not one of those that comes off by just splashing your face with water. You're going to need to use a damp towel and wipe it off. And by doing a pretty good job with the cloth, you may be able to remove all the product. That's my experience. So it does come off very well. However, it takes a little bit more wiping than my other oil cleansers. I also have to note that this is significantly more expensive than the other ones. So it is a really good product. I would say it's best for more drier skin types. My third pick is the Cayena Giving Beauty Oil Cleanser. This is the most recent launch from Cayena Giving Beauty. It's only been out for maybe a couple of months, and I've only used it for about maybe 6 weeks or so, and I've already used quite a bit because it is such a good oil cleanser. This is a very well formulated product. So there are several reasons why I like this cleanser so much, this oil cleanser so much versus all of the others. And my first reason is that it contains excellent ingredients. It contains a very effective emulsifying ingredient that helps the oil to really dissolve when in contact with water. So this is an oil cleanser that you can actually rinse off with running water and it will come off. Sure, you will have to massage your skin as you're rinsing, but it does come off really well so that it does not leave any residue on the skin, and I really appreciate that. I also like that it contains some really good ingredients. It contains calendula, which is a very soothing ingredient. It's found in a lot of preparations for irritated skin, bugs bites and things like that, because it's a really soothing and calming ingredient. It comes from a flower. It also contains turmeric, which has anti-inflammatory properties. It contains blue tansy, which is also very soothing, and it contains John's wort. So these are all ingredients that are soothing and calming, so that as you are massaging your skin, you're also calming and soothing the skin, which can be a little bit irritated just from the action of massaging and rubbing the skin. So I really like this formulation. My favorite thing about it is definitely that it comes off so easily. It does a really great job of breaking down all the makeup and removing all the impurities, all the dirt and sunscreen. So this is definitely one of my first picks, one of the best that I've tried, and I definitely recommend. One of my favorite things about the Maya Chia, the Great Cleansing Oil, is that it has fantastic ingredients that are great to use for massaging the skin. So some days, even if I'm not wearing any makeup or if I'm not wearing sunscreen, if I spend the day indoor, I will just use this cleanser to give myself a massage before using my gel cleanser. And the reason why is that it contains some really great ingredients for the skin. It contains the supercritical chia oil that is the hero ingredients for the Maya Chia line, but it also contains other soothing and calming ingredients that have anti-inflammatory benefits, and they feel really good as I massage the skin, and I really feel like they help to stimulate the circulation together with the action of massaging my skin. So I really appreciate this particular formulation for massaging my skin and also for removing makeup. I do find that it's one of the oil cleansers that I've tried that comes off the easiest from the skin. So for that reason, this is one of my top picks together with the Kaina Giving Beauty. I find that those two are the ones that come off the skin the best, the easiest. And so if you're someone that tends to break out and you want a product that doesn't leave any residue on the skin, I find that the Maya Chia and the Kaina oil cleansers are the best for that purpose. And I also love, of course, that it comes in the Myron glass, which helps preserve the properties of the product, and it has a lovely scent. It's just so soothing and calming. It's just like a really enjoyable time when I use this cleansing oil. So as some of you may know, if you've been reading my blog or watching my videos, this has been my cleansing oil of choice for years. It used to be the only cleansing oil in the clean beauty market that was water soluble, and therefore I used to buy backups and always have an extra bottle because I never wanted to run out of it. It contains some really good ingredients. It contains mildly exfoliating ingredients like papaya and pumpkin, and it contains a very tiny amount of essential oils that give it a really lovely tropical scent. It smells like pina colada. It's absolutely delicious. However, I do find that with the vitamin B cleansing oil, I need more wiping with my face cloth than with the Kaina and Maya Chia Beauty oil cleansers, which is why I've been using those more than this one. So I tend to gravitate more towards the Kaina and the Maya Beauty. This remains a really great cleansing oil. I would say it's probably best for more dry skin types because the texture when in contact with water goes from oily to more milky, and so it has that really nice soothing comforting texture like the Nails and Schnapp oil cleanser. So it remains a really great cleansing oil. I just tend to gravitate more towards the Kaina Giving Beauty and the Maya Chia because of how easily they dissolve with water compared to all the other oil cleansers I've tried. So this concludes my top 5 oil cleansers. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you found some helpful suggestions. If you have any suggestions for me, if you want to recommend an oil cleanser that you've tried, that you really like and that you think does an amazing job, please leave a comment below and let me know which one you recommend. Please also let me know if you've tried these oil cleansers and what your experience has been like, or if you're looking for something particular and you would like me to give you some recommendations, some tips. Please make sure to leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel so you will know when I upload my next video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Ciao!